world's best gather here. XBL baseball starts now.
It's crushed to the moon, and we're tied.
He picks it up on the second, over to first in time for the double play that ends the inning.
That's gone.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Trying to repeat.
It's good!
Homeward to the pen! This game is over!
Oh! Crushed! Left field! Off the pole!
Domingo Bell, deep right center field, carrying, and it's gone!
That was hit hard. Left center field. Did she do it again? To the wall.
Swung on Bell to the deep left field. Is this baby gone? A grand slam!
Champion! The AAA World Series is over! What a line shot!
I can't believe my eyes.
Good evening, everybody. Glad to be back here for another edition of an XBL stream. This time we're here in the playoffs, of course. We have a semifinals matchup, a big one at that, here between Mush and MAMAJUNEJUNE. It's going to be an epic series. I'm really excited to sink our teeth into this one here, Mist. Joining me this evening, Mist, how are you doing, sir? Yeah, I think I just pulled up the series table. I cheated a little bit, but I believe the Civilization swept the regular season series. I don't remember the score lines, although I do remember it just seeming like Mush couldn't really get the hitting going until it was too late. So yeah, that was a fun little series, but I do not expect this playoff series to go the same way. As we have our first key here for Mush is the LO Slayer. I think it's funny that a couple of people have pointed it out. But, you know, Mush took me down, unfortunately. It just had to be done. Round one, Hobbs were stabbed in the heart there. But, you know, he took me down and then had an insane reverse sweep against our league commissioner in Flash and the Flashertons, coming all the way back and advancing now here to the semifinals to take on MAMAJUNEJUNE, who had to take they had to really take care of business against Pizza. They had a first round bye, of course, and then taking on Pizza Volcano in that second round. That was a barn burner. I believe it was a 3-1 series result for MAMAJUNEJUNE and his Civilization. So both of these teams kind of stoking the fire at the right time here, and I think it's just going to turn into a really, really interesting matchup. We know the pitching styles between these two. It's more of a power versus finesse pitching, and that's just going to be really fun to see. Personally, having played both of these guys pretty tight at various times, I mean, most recently, Mush, of course, I can speak to his game plan of just continuing to pummel that outer lower corner of the strike zone with fastballs and cutters. I think Mama's eye is too good for that approach, so Mush is going to have to, you know, utilize his top tier XBL qualities and adapt and adjust throughout the game to figure out what is and isn't working in the moment versus MAMAJUNEJUNE, because he does carry the long ball, the big stick. He knows how to punish those pitches. So he's going to have to change it up maybe a bit more, be a little more unorthodox and less predictable. And, you know, Mama on the same side, his pitching can be questionable at times. It's usually solid, especially given that he's recently had, you know, Von Nascent pitching awards here in the regular season. So both of these guys can pitch. They can both hit, as we've seen time and time again, Mist. So I'm super excited for this one. What else would you like to add in there? Sorry, I talked for a lot longer than I intended on. Yeah, of course. Yeah, let me double check that for us here. Wonder if it's a I don't have a Discord like streamer issue. There's no little thing preventing the audio. We get a quick little test chat. Can you give us a confirmation if you can hear missed a few moments ago? Looks like
I don't see anyone saying anything.
I think try it now
Okay.
here. Here we go, chat.
How about now, chat?
Perfect. Awesome. Well, I guess it's kind of good that I monologued for a bit because we didn't lose much of what you had said aside from the introduction. So feel free to take the floor here.
Yeah, I was happy to let you cook there. Yeah, I mean, Mama's kind of a similar pitcher to myself. Obviously, a little bit higher end, but he's going to go for the throat with that fastball. And if you don't prove you can hit it, he's not going to let you up off the floor. I think Mush is a little bit more naturally a finesse pitcher. It's kind of interesting because I do think you want to attack Mush with the fastball, but there's times when that just won't work. And then the same goes for Mama. You want to attack him with soft stuff, but I've played him at times where even the slightest mistake with soft stuff can really hurt you, and I've played him at times where he'll miss reticle a lot of those. We know you can't put the fastball in a meatball spot. That's going to be trouble. But Mush doesn't really do that. So I think it's just overall a fantastic matchup. Pitching is the key. They both, in completely different ways, can kill you with the bat. They're both streaky with the bat. Mush, I think, just kind of a product of being more of a contact hitter than a power hitter, even though I think he technically does do a mix. And then Mama just tends to be streaky because he's one of those, home run swingers that they tend to kind of feast or famine. So it's a great matchup.
Yeah. Just to cap off on some of those points there, you nailed it for sure. And Mush being more of the contact based hitter, it just feels like he can never die. Sometimes it feels like he'll constantly just send these balls back up the middle, and it feels helpless. It feels like there's nothing you could have really done. You'll throw pitches outside the zone, and he'll just scoot them up through the middle of the infielders. So a pretty tough opponent, just really kind of deflating when he's able to get on a roll there and do that to you. I literally had that happen, of course, in the playoffs, and I know Flash experienced it himself. Unfortunately, that series between Flash and Mush wasn't streamed or recorded, but for what I heard and read, it was one of those classic, just Mush just turned it on and couldn't get anything to find a fielder's glove there. So could be very interested to see how that plays out. I mean, he was down a couple times in our series there in that first round. I've somehow found myself ahead in the first two games. He came back and clutched up to get, I believe, a walk-off in game one, and then in game two, he was down something crazy like 7-0, I think, early, and I blew it. I had way too many mistake pitches, so, clearly Mama needs to learn from my mistakes if that's possible, and make sure to just nail the corners. If you're going to miss outside the zone, because Mush is going to really punish those types of pitches. So I guess the last thing I'll mention, which we've talked about it already, both you and I, but the pitching qualities. Last season Mama won his first Von Asen, and this season Mush won the Von Asen award. So, these aren't just some Joe Schmoes that can have their day occasionally. These are two elite pitchers that really consistently get the job done against all players, including the top players, and now they find themselves pitted against one another here, so they're going to have to duke it out, see who can try to earn a early lead and advantage in the series as we get things underway here. Of course, it is a best of 7 tonight, so we're going to watch just the first 2 games of this series. But without further ado, Mist, I think it's time for us to get this party started. So we'll take a brief little scene transition and then pop back in for game 1, folks. Okay. My screen for you. Alrighty, folks, here we are. Games 1 and 2 starting at Sakura, home of the Civilization this season here in Season 19, getting this semifinals underway.
Yeah, Mama was originally an original hater of the great Sakura Hills. He's come around full circle, and he really has enjoyed this stadium this season.
Yeah, he's done quite well, and just for the record, I do have the volume maxed out here, so that's the best I can offer. As we see a couple of triple-digit fastballs navigating near and in the zone. This one, fastball hitter activated, but did not get the best contact. Gonna find its glove out there in right field for the second out here in the first inning.
Yeah, early jitters. We saw a big red circle there. Hopefully that's not a lag issue. Probably just getting the feet wet on the mound.
Looks like this one careens off the pitcher's glove, then has to cover the bag. Second baseman was sleeping, caught with flat feet. Didn't help out their team, and so it is going to avoid a 1-2-3 inning here for the Curse. They do find their first base runner as we see a quick 0-2 count. Going low and away, just barely missing.
This already has a bad feel for the Curse. Just looks a little bit weird. And one thing about Mama is Mama's a much better speed player than most people think. He does have speed on the team. He's known as a bopper, but he's learned how to bunt. He's tricky on the base paths at times. So you always think of Mush as, of course, the most cagey in most matchups, but Mama's trickier than you think.
Yeah, as we saw there, that's an immediate impact as his Mama's leadoff hitter carries that bunter-sprinter combo, and what his goal really is to do, it's double-edged, it's two-pronged, I mean, to say, is that he's going to threaten the bunt, and if he gets it down, he's almost guaranteed his base there at first. However, if the defense shifts to the bunt alignment, then he's just going to swing and send one back up through the middle because the middle infielders actually get pulled wider as we see a ground ball hit to the diving second baseman. Nice job to keep that in front of them there and get the first out. But as I was explaining, just for that first base runner, that's going to be the game plan all series long, as it has been all season long. We're going to see the runner test that center fielder's arm, still too strong to try to chance it. So we now have 2 outs here, runner in scoring position for the Civ. RBI Hero is activated here for the 4 spot. Cinny Zaz. Mind Gamer carried as well, sends this fastball deep to right field. Slicing foul, but it's going to be caught by Foundwood, and the Curse will avoid a slightly treacherous situation here. It's a clean 0-0 in the first inning from both sides.
Yeah, and one thing you need to do against somebody such as Mush is if you can get an out, you have to make sure you get an out. You can't play around because he's a momentum player more than Mama is. And he could go several innings with nothing cooking and then can put up 6. I mean, you saw it earlier in the playoffs, Slat. He can put up 9 in an inning if he just doesn't break around singles.
He was down 7-0 to me in game 2 at Big Sky, and I just made some poor managerial decisions with the pitching staff, and he put up an 8 spot and took the lead back. And yeah, I mean, it literally has happened very recently, folks, so you are he is never out of the game at any point as he sends a hit and run situation, except unfortunately for the Curse fans out there, this one's going to be caught in center field. So a opportunity there goes awry. Runner, of course, retreats safely back to first now, but they don't have the best speed, so a hit and run is a solid option, but they've already tried it once. Mama might be wise to it again as this one sent up through yet again the middle infielders for a base knocked. It's runners at first and second. This one gets away from the fielders, but eventually brought in together by the catcher here. So first and second now. Good speed on the trail runner, and lag is certainly impacting the pitching reticle. Mama is also one of those momentum players, which he loves to keep a high octane, fast pace, pitching wise. This one grounded to first. Runners paused. It was a double steal attempt, but they wanted to make sure it wasn't caught, and that will actually earn an out at second base. Good speed though from the batter as they are safe at first. Send this one past the diving third baseman. That's the first run of the series here, folks. Curse up 1-0 on a base knock to left field.
Yeah, that's absolutely the pitch you cannot get by, Mom. I'm surprised that Mush threw that pitch.
Yeah, as Mama sends this curveball catching the zone here to even up the count. This one floated into shallow right center. It drops, and that'll be yet another run, an RBI single. And here we go for the Curse. It's a 2-out mini rally as Buddy Getrecht steps into the dish here. Activates his mind gamer trait, looking for a fastball, which does clip the zone. Strike one. Lag kind of, well, it ends up saving Mama, I guess, because it worked out. It's a hard liner to second base, and that one could have gone anywhere. Thankfully, it goes in the glove of the second baseman.
Yeah, considering there was lag in there, I think Mush has to be fairly happy to get out of there. I'm not going to call them bad pitches. They're only bad pitches because it's such a great hitter, but through a couple pitches, I think he wanted back. So 2 is not that bad.
Yeah, as Mama had a perfect reticle, arguably, with 99 power, but still maybe due to the location being on the outside of the zone, hindered some of the hitting prowess there as it was hit hard, but right to that right fielder for the first out here now. Find ourselves in a 1-2 count. Edgar Cuero, the catcher for the Civ, takes the ball low. Good eye there to even it up at 2-2. Off-speed curveball misses the zone well high and wide. So we are now full. Puts a good bat on this one, but it's chopped to short, and they don't have the speed to beat that one out there. Mojo boost for the Curse pitcher here. They are having a nice start to this game, retiring 5 or 6 batters. Maybe they had that leadoff single they gave up, but retired every batter since now. It's the 7-spot hitter for the Civ, carrying the low pitch trait. They already have 1 homer here in the playoffs. They're late on that one. Mush electing to go deep in the outfield, but it doesn't matter. This one's sent to second and easily dealt with to end the second inning.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see this pitcher from MAMAJUNEJUNE. I'm not sure what Mama's rotation. I don't recall what Mama's rotation. I was expecting to see velo, but he might have a lot of velo in the pen. But regardless, that half turtle forkball, that new age arsenal that it seems like Oxbox was the first to kind of really start using, is what Mama's got going there. It's kind of got the typical 4 pitches plus the fork. And he has an elite fork here today. So I don't know if forkball works against Mush or not. What do you think about that?
I'm not a forkball user. Normally, I feel like that's a bit of an expensive pitch, but this one's sent to right field. It's going to advance that runner there. Runner's now at the corners. Solid piece of hitting by Mush here to get some action on the base pass, and another runner in scoring position. As I say that, it's converted. That is the name of the game, folks. Converting the runners in scoring position, and Mush is doing that here so far. It's 3-0.
You know what? I had these teams reversed from the very beginning, Zlad. I see now that Mama's on the mound. I don't know why I thought that was Mush.
I heard that, and I thought you knew that and you were just accidentally misspeaking, but yeah, of course, Mama's now pitching here. and the bases are juiced, finding themselves in a really tough spot. Low pitch activated, have to be careful against this batter for the Curse. It's Drew Peacock looking to cash in, sends one to center field. It should be caught by Blinkers, who cues up a throw home. It's going to be a play at the plate, not the best speed. Tag, and he's safe, just gets a toe around the glove, avoiding the tag. It's 4-0 on that sac fly.
Yeah, not really. Didn't feel like the greatest throw.
They do fly out there to center to end the inning, so back-to-back innings for the Curse with a pair of runs. It's 4-0 overall. We head to the bottom of the third. Civ looking to get something going offensively for themselves as they send this one to the gap in right center. That's sure to be extra bases. Kaufman sends it back in with the stand-up double to lead us off here in the third.
Yeah, if I'm Mush, you know, I'm sure he loves seeing those big gaps out there. He can get into those gaps.
Almost pitcher fouls that one away here. Bailey Lee watches a really unfortunate lag moment, a lag spike, and literally had no chance to even make a play on that, put a swing on it. That just... An out given by Metalhead. This one softly hit the second baseman. Plenty of speed, like I was mentioning earlier. Sprinter-bunter combo. Hits one in the middle, forces that infielder to dive. And due to that sprinter max speed comboed, they are safe at first. So runners at the corners now for the Civ as they look to stake their claim and take advantage of this opportunity. Runner in scoring position. It's a 2-0 hitters count now. Easy target activated for Mush to try to nail the outer corner of the zone, which he fails to do. Count is 3-0. Green light was not given. Forkball, middle of the zone, a little dangerous, but Mama wanting to find his pitch, and you can see frustration of the players switching there on the base runners as that one is not hit deep enough for a sacrifice fly. Instead, it's caught in second fielder's glove with now 2 outs.
Yeah, and one thing I can tell you is, Lat, now that the shoe is on the other foot, is that MAMAJUNEJUNE is a forkball hitter. He can hit the forkball really well. So I assume Mush probably knows that and is not gonna oversell that forkball.
Yeah, Mama sitting on the 3-0 count again. This time had the green light, and the bad ball hitting Lauai sends this into right field to open the scoring for the Civilization. They'll put one across the plate. Runners now at first and second here with 2 outs. Again, procking the RBI hero for Cindy Zaz as her mind gamer abilities all just laid on that. That thing was gone if it connected. Mama, strong eye there. Watches a ball miss the zone high and inside. It's 2-1. Now 3-1 on the cutter. Another hitter's count, and it would have been ball 4. A little antsy in the box, fouls it away for a full count. Runners should be cued. They are. And he swings that one outside the zone. I think he realized he had to cue the runners. And the timing in which he did that kind of threw him off there. He wasn't set in the box. And he wildly swung at yet again ball 4, which grounds out to second and ends the inning. Bush finds his coveted single up the middle to lead us off now here in the fourth. Mama has not really found an answer to the Curse here. They've been able to stave off an avalanche situation, but it is still a 4-1 ball game here. Lag rearing its head yet again as it allows the curveball to go in the zone. Quickly 0-2 on Buddy, get wrecked. Watches that fastball just barely missing the corner. This one lined hard to the shortstop. There was a hit and run situation again, but the runner's able to get back just in time.
Yeah, that was absolute bailout. That is the pitch Mush is just dying to hit, but just got a bad luck on there on the line out.
This curveball sent to shallow center field. Blinkers is under it for out number 2. And in my experience against Mush, you know, you really do have to be a solid sequencer on the mound, but also I found the off speed to really kind of take some of the teeth out of his hitting. Of course, I wasn't able to get a win in my playoff series against him, so take that for what it's worth, but I did seem to think that the off-speed pitches kind of took the teeth out of a lot of his hitting. So curious to see if Mama picks up on that or is able to find success with that here in game 1, as it's a bit of a quiet inning. We're a couple base runners there for the curse, but ultimately a 0 at the end of it as the Civ now step back into the box here. They're down quickly 0-2. Lee sends another fastball on the outside corner. This one's sent back up through the middle, but it's not hit hard enough as the shortstop gathers, collects, and fires to first in time for out number 1.
I think Mama is seeing the ball well. He was just late on that one fork ball that he almost killed. I do think Mama's really going to get going here. I think he feels good at the plate, just hasn't quite broken through yet.
Yeah, both of these players definitely start out slightly colder and warm up as the game goes on, as this one sent deep to left field. Hits the wall, but it's just foul. So it's a full count now. Curveball high in the zone. Kind of hanging for a pitcher, for a hitter like Mama, and he's able to punish it there. Sends it back up the middle for a nice base hit. A good at bat. Gets the base runner on. Not much speed, but it's back to Orber, and she's swinging first pitch. Ambushes this pitcher, and that'll be a single to left field as well. So runners now at first and second here. Something could be brewing for the Civ. We have Fruta Ranger, the left fielder with off-speed hitter, stepping in. Watching ball 1 low and away.
And not much power, but we know that off-speed hitter can really jack a ball if he ends up even a curveball if he can time it up.
Yeah, Mush loves to tickle and test the zone as he sends one on the ground, hit to the shortstop, dives to make the play. Only play was at first, and it's in time. You see the mojo boost there as well. That is pretty massive for the curse as they now have 2 outs. Acclaimed, and Mama's looking for a pinch hitter potentially here as there's 2 runners in scoring position. He does not want to pass on this opportunity. It's the pinch perfect hitting Nawada Hui. I'm totally guessing that's how it's pronounced, so I gave it my best shot, but Mush as well playing the game of chess here, electing to consider the bullpen options here in a high leverage situation now as DP Lee stays in the game.
Interesting.
Misses that first pitch low and away. This one, Mama kind of frantically moved that reticle and didn't connect. A good eye there for ball 2. Make it ball 3. It's a 3-1 hitter's count. And it's, oh my, that thing I thought for sure was going to be lined into left center field in the gap. Instead, it finds the glove of the shortstop, and Mush escapes a situation there to keep a lid on things for now. We head to the top of the 5th.
Yeah, and you know how it is, Lat, when you hit left or right on that reticle, it feels like you were right on top of it, but it just seems like those ones that are directly left or right of the power button have a tendency to wimp out off the bat, and we saw it there.
Mama earns a quick first out there to the shortstop. Comes back firing. It's Alex Colomb who has K Collector and Elite Four-Seamer. Bit of a nasty combo. It doesn't necessarily sound like it until you come up against it in the game, and then it really kind of gets you. So we're going to see how Mush is able to handle it here. That's 2 rather quick outs, only 7 pitches. Now the 8th on its way, finding the strike zone here. This one not really threatening anything. It finds that fielder in left for the 3rd out. They go 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th here now. Turning over the lineup for the Civilization, it's Fulcrum Blinkers, that bunter sprinter, leading us off. You can see Mama being aggressive in that at bat, of course, swinging at that first pitch. It wasn't a bad reticle, but due to the lower contact rating, it kind of found a part that just wasn't going to get the job done. There's a 99 power swing met back up the middle there. Little 1-out single for the 2-spot hitter. Stepping in here, Screw Lawai. Very aggressive naming. Last season it was Ban Lawai, now it's Screw Lawai, who I'm pretty sure Lawai hit the series clinching, run this campaign, so I don't know. I guess it's kind of worked.
It might seem negative, but I'm sure it's a compliment in some form.
Yeah, they have some weird, wholesome, toxic, abusive relationship. I don't know. It's fun, but it's hard to explain. Anyways, we see Lauwai send another one back up through the middle. Not enough speed on this lead runner to advance to third, but it's a similar situation to prior innings for the Civ. 1 out. Runners at first and second. Cindy Zaz continues to find herself proccing this RBI hero trait. This is the third time, her third at bat, and her third time that trait has been active, yet unable so far, I believe, to cash in an RBI this game. Looking to change that here as Richard Long steps in. This is the matchup Mush wants for this reliever, but they hang a forkball, and that is going to cash a run in. That's going to be runners now at first and second here, but the lead is cut to 2.
Yeah, I was just noticing he's running that same arsenal with the forkball. I was kind of wondering that might be iffy, and he came with the forkball.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that Mama is able to punish the forkball, and clearly we saw it there. Not expecting the cutter though, as reverse splits is going to do some damage here in this at bat in this matchup. Hit in between the middle infielders.
Wow, right
that is so surprising. Oh my. They were almost perfectly positioned. One was holding the runner, the other was set up for a double play, but still not able to get to it there. I mean, the shortstop was already on the second base side of the bag, and they still didn't get it. That was crazy. This one hit, though, to that second baseman. Set up for the double play, onto second, onto first in time. And Mush does have a little damage done, but they maintain their lead here. It is cut to 1. As we are now past the midway point of this ball game.
Yeah, it's pretty much a 50-50 game now. Mama got back into it enough that one run right now doesn't feel like a lot.
This one hit to that center fielder for the second out of the inning. Been a quick inning. Yet again, last inning was rather quick. This one hit to the shortstop, who dives to make the catch. What a play. Zaz, Cindy Zaz, cashing in the RBI and catching a nice defensive out there to end the top of the 6th. We find ourselves...
That'll be interesting, Zlat. You don't want to get Cindy Jazz any more pumped up than she already is, because if she comes up late in this ball game, you're not going to want to see locked in, etc.
Yeah, she's one diving catch or one RBI away, one extra base hit away probably from a mojo increase for sure. Especially given the pressure meter as Mama's bats are starting to get going here. We saw a leadoff single. Now it's back-to-back singles here to start the bottom of the 6th. Alex Colomb has been dealing. Mama doesn't want to risk anything crazy here. It's a perfectly executed bunt to advance the runners. Great page out of the small ball game plan. Runners now at second and third.
Pitcher, that's huge.
And it's sprinter bunter yet again. Oh no! Mama swings at a first pitch, and it's caught, lined out to the first baseman. Man, I don't know. Surely he regrets that decision, as there's now 2 outs with 2 runners in scoring position. He's been in this situation earlier already.
I think he's happy he just didn't get doubled up. He's still got a good shot here.
Yeah, still has a good shot. This one hit the left, but it's a sliding catch to end the inning. Drew Peacock comes up clutch for the Curse, and yet again maintaining their lead. Oh, that inning was on a knife's edge from becoming disaster. The Curse somehow evaded, and they maintain that lead. 1 run here. It's a 1-run game, top of the 7th. Curse getting us started, sending this one over the shortstop's head as they jump, unable to make the play. Left fielder hoped to get a glove on that, diving over as it was hitting the gap. They were hoping to cut down the bases, but unable to do so, and it's a leadoff double now for Curse. And that's a good answer there for the Curse to put a lid again in the bottom of the 6th and now come out swinging here as we see the runner advanced on a ground out to second. So Mush looking to extend their lead by any means possible. I expect them to be rather aggressive in this at-bat. He tends to be when there's a runner at third. He swings on the first pitch. Infield was in, but actually a bit detrimental. Shortstop unable to get to the ball, and it's a nice little RBI single here for the Curse.
Yeah, there's certain players you just can't stop them from getting to the ball. So, this is why you just got to take the outs and just get out of here with 1 run.
And
Oh,
Bush
big
putting
steal.
on, not quite putting on a clinic, but just taking a perfect opportunity to abuse Mama's, his pitching style, as he loves to ramp the fastball in there continuously, takes his medicine, gets the second out there at first, did not want to entertain being diddled at third. So there's a runner at third base, swinging first pitch again, but that should be and is caught in center field to end the inning. So the Curse get a little bit of insurance there, tacking on another run. It's a 5-3 ball game here, heading now to the bottom of the 7th in game 1.
Yeah, again, if I'm Mama, I'm happy there. You want Mush's scoring innings to be 1 run. You don't want balloon innings. So 1 run there was fine. That highlighted that play from Peacock in left field ended up not only getting a run, but he immediately turned it around and cashed in a run. So that was a monster play out there in left field.
Yeah, and a bit of a big moment there as Mama kind of expanded his own zone. Grounds into a double play. This one hit to just over the second baseman's head. So the earlier double play cleared the runners. We now have a fresh slate with a runner at first after that single here with 2 away. Pressure meter is at 3 for Edgar Cuero. Misses that curveball low and inside to even up the count. Has one to hit, decent reticle, good reticle even, but it's lined directly to the third baseman. Snagged at the hot corner. That'll end the 7th inning.
It wasn't the greatest cut fastball there. That was a dangerous pitch to throw to Mama, but got away with it.
Yeah, for some reason, Edgar Cuero, when I play Mama, his catcher has like very unimpressive hitting stats. A nice play out there from Brooklyn. Perfectly dove backwards. Kind of an over-the-shoulder sliding catch. Nice play there. I was just going to say his catcher seems to have my number. With unimpressive hitting stats, he still hits home runs off of me. So I was expecting somehow Mama to send that over the left field bleachers.
Mama for sure is one of those players that a small reticle or a small power score, he can do a lot with those hitters. So you can't just assume that if you slap reverse splits on him or something that you're okay, because you're not. Yeah,
and we see the the call to the bullpen for Jock Stiffner for the Curse, the highest velo on the roster here. And we're going to have to see how quickly Mama can adjust to it. 95-mile-an-hour cutter. That one, not where Mush probably wanted it. Because Mama, of course, executes on that. It's a leadoff single here in the 8th as the Civ find themselves backs against the wall. 6 outs remaining, needing 2 runs to extend the game. A good arm for the for the Curse catcher here, as this one sent to deep left field. That's going towards the track, but finds the glove of Drew Peacock there, and that'll be the first out.
Mush being extremely careful with the four seam. He's using the cut fastball to cover up the fact that he's afraid to throw the four seam.
There's a first pitch cutter to find the zone, but misses on the next pitch there off speed. In the zone, hit to the shortstop, but past them it was too hard. They gave it their best effort on a dive and could not get their glove on that ball. A 1-out single here with a maxed out pressure meter as the lineup turns over for Fulcrum Blinkers. A pinch runner will step in there for the pinch hitter that earned that single. Mama swings.
Bunter here.
Yeah, makes the count go 0-2 quickly. Kind of takes the bunts out of the equation and not able to catch up to the 101 four-seamer. Striking out for out number 2. It brings up big man Brooklyn. Swings at a cutter low and outside the zone. Second baseman dives. Not enough speed on the runner here. Or the batter, rather, as they ground out to end the inning. A gut-wrenching moment as they swung at a pitch low and just outside the zone.
Yeah, he had second base pulled over toward the bag. That you're just praying for a bobble there if your Mama didn't get it.
Quick first out here to start the 9th inning. As the Civ are hoping for yet another quick inning. The Curse have they did have their moment of, earning an insurance run, but it's been, the highs are high and the lows are kind of low. The Curse have had a lot of quick innings in this game, but they did the damage early, and it's been enough so far. The 2-run lead, looking to add any potential other insurance. This one's sent on a ride to center field, but directly at blinkers, maybe taking 2 steps back there to put a glove on it as there's now 2 away. Swings at this first pitch, sent into left field, and that'll be a 2-out single for the Curse. Smash Herman steps in. He's locked in. The second baseman made a couple nice plays. Got a couple hits this game. Those stats are rather juiced as he sends this one to deep right center. It's going back towards the track, and it hits the dirt. That's going to bounce off the wall and be an RBI stand-up double here with 2 away. The Curse have found an answer to add some insurance here. Their total runs scored is double that of the Civ, as this ground ball will make its way over to first base to end the inning, but it's a 6-3 ball game. The heart of the order for the Civ coming up here. Swings at this first pitch. It was a good location to hit. It's just slightly misreticled, unfortunately, for Civ, as they ground out to short. Cindy Zaz, this might be her first at bat of the game without having RBI hero procced. Expands the zone yet again. Mush continuing to find success there with the locations. Why they continue to throw it, as Stiffner is close to 20 pitches, hangs a curveball there for a 2-out single. That was a bit lazy. Maybe they're hoping that Mama was looking for something else, but able to send it back up the middle for a 2-out single. Brings up Edgar Cuero, who has clutch activated, an 83 power swing.
Oh, no.
But it's not enough as Kaufman tracks it down in center, and game 1 goes the way of the Curse.
Yeah, it was pretty even up. That was just a well-played game. They had to fight through a little bit of lag, which has become a skill. But they both seemed to be able to concentrate at the plate. They were getting on balls. It was just a lot of slight misreticles, really.
Yeah, solid game from both players. Really not too many mistakes. If anything, could harshly critique it more, but they're better players than I am, so I'm in no position to do so. I think it was just a great game there between 2 strong players, and we'll probably look to see more of the same in game 2. As we'll take just a very brief pause here, folks, to get game 2 queued up for you. We will be right back. Alrighty, folks. Game 2 between the Civ and the Curse. Game 1, of course, went the way of the Curse. If I can be technologically savvy, I might be able to get the overlay updated here.
Welcome back to Red Rock Park. Those ready? Some dingers. Let's go. Now back to center field, number 38.
Don't think I was able to get it to work. But in any case, here we are underway. First pitch is a strike, lower outside part of the zone here at Red Rock Park, home of the Curse. And a nice strikeout there from Mush. Was that a 3-pitch strikeout?
Yeah, I think so. And this time I'm going to recognize the uniforms properly. This is classic Civilization uniforms. There's no confusion here at Red Rock, gorgeous stadium. I think Mama feels decent here. You know, a loss to Mush is not going to rattle someone like Mama. He knows how good Mush is. And there's a single.
Yep, nice little answer there after that early strikeout. So gets on the bases here. He gets Wowai up to bat, the bat ball hitter. Did a lot of damage during the regular season. Done a fair share of damage here in the playoffs, looking to really get it going here for their team. It's just late on that first pitch, but reticled well. Nice eye to watch. That one missed the zone, make it back to back, so count goes 2-1 now. Another solid eye, just so good to watch that miss the zone, and it's a walk.
Yeah, good eye there. So Mush is now running a full turtle arsenal with a Wild Thing.
Is this one sent to deep center field? Cindy Zaz has the RBI hero procced and puts it to use right away. A 3-run jack to center, and Mama is on the board early in game 2.
Yeah, Mama escaped Cindy Jazz in game 1, was very happy to do so, but now the wheels have come off here.
Mush kind of finds a quick little answer there to get back on the horse with the ground out there for out number 2. But yeah, that was an absolute no-doubter, as the Civ bats are rather warm to start game 2. Mama's sure to be happy about that.
Yeah, long way to go, but especially after a loss, that early lead can really get you excited and focused and feeling like, okay, I'm good here.
Yeah, he had a nice solid whiff of the smelling salts pregame, I think, and really kicked in here to get game 2 started off well for them. As you go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Cindy Jazz had her entire head in the smelling salts.
Yeah, hey, whatever it takes, it's playoff baseball, baby. Solid outing here for something Yakko. I did not catch the first name, but the starter for the Civ, the 1-2-3 inning here as the Curse kind of hit balls directly at the fielders. That is the way of contact baseball here in the SMB universe. This one floated back up to shallow center field. The shortstop did not have a play on it, so it's a leadoff single with good speed here for the Civ, looking to just absolutely carry this momentum that they've built on. It's back-to-back singles here to start us off in the second, and it's actually misplayed. Drew Peacock overruns the ball in left field.
No.
Mama's going to take advantage. He's actually going to send this runner home easily. A huge unforced error, just an absolute. I'd really surprised by that. Mush is not known as someone who has issues defensively. As you can see, he tries to run the runner back. Oh, Mama may have had it.
This.
He's trying to diddle. He at least secures a runner in scoring position. That's the veteran move there for Mama to secure the runner there.
Absolute classic Mama. He does that between set. He'll stand there and he'll make you commit, and he's so good at it.
Yeah,
he got the runner to. He actually looked like he almost could have made third base.
I know. I think it would have been close. I have that as 50-50, but that is definitely a close play either way. As we just saw the one spot hitter, the bunter sprinter with a 99 power swing sent that ball to deep center field, but it was ultimately caught, of course. Runner did advance to third, so there's now 2 outs. It's a 2-1 count here. Big man Brooklyn looking to capitalize. It was in the zone off speed. Mama didn't want it. Count goes full. Sends this one over the shortstop's head, just barely unable to get to it. And it's 5-0 now for the Civ. Curse need to, I don't know, slow things down or change something up because these pitchers are just getting absolutely punished so far.
Yeah, I was going to say, Zlat, I really like the way Mama's hitting the curveball. He's getting singles on these curveballs, and that will take a lot of steam out of a pitcher. Like a Mush, like an Ox, like a Flash that really likes to ride that curveball in the upper corners to it's so easy to mishit those. When you start lining those up, you can really limit their attack.
Yeah, Mama has found some nice solid reticles that are just dead on in game 1, and now here in game 2, as we saw that one lined about as hard as you could hit it directly to that third baseman. And speaking of, Mush trying to dip in that party as well, sends that one to the left fielder. Different emotions though, as the Civ already have 5 across the plate, and the Curse are looking to get something going here. This one hit hard to the diving shortstop. They knock it down, but they cannot come up with it there, so it'll be runner at first base for the Curse. Evens the count, now is actually ahead after that four-seamer finds its way in the zone. Gonna go off speed, low and away. Mush not expecting it. They strike out looking, which Mush does not strike out often, so that tells you that he was just really looking for, expecting a fastball there. He sends this one on a ride to deep left center field. That's back towards the left fielder. I thought they might have to make a sliding play, but ultimately did not need to, and it was wise to stay on their feet as they reach out, extend their glove to end the inning here. Now moving to the top of the third. Quickly 1-1, Jerry Rice, the third baseman. He's actually going to strike out there. A perfectly thrown cutter catches that outside corner. You can see Mama kind of falling into tendencies we notice in the regular season. You know, he likes to be aggressive in at-bats and swing at the first or second pitch very often. Done that every at-bat this inning, I think, essentially. That time it works out. It's an infield hit. The shortstop made a great play. Just too much speed from the base runner, and yet again swinging first pitch. It's a 2-out single here. Runners at first and second. Mush has to be careful now.
Yeah, Mama's beating Mush at his own game. He's punching those tough pitches up the middle, especially the curveball. But even we just saw, I believe that was a changeup. He's pushing some singles, which when somebody like Mama does that, it's eventually going to turn into a big home run like we did see earlier.
Oh, Mama just kind of feeling the moment there, wanted to be super aggressive, pedal to the metal, but it was the pitcher at the plate and an 0-2 count, so not going to really expect a base hit regardless. So ends the inning, strands 2 runners, but they'll continue to carry their lead of 5 runs into the bottom of the third now, as Mush is quickly gonna give the hook to the starter, and they know that there's no time to waste. They need to try to get something going as fast as possible. Brings in Grump long stroke, benefits from the extra power against righties and carries the high pitch, which is impactful here at Red Rock as there's a bit of a porch there in right field. This time though, they're gonna ground to the shortstop, unable to produce here for their team.
Yeah, I believe Mush has an awkward, over-the-top, slow baller SPRP that he kind of likes, and so that gives him the opportunity to put a pinch hitter in there, but it doesn't come through.
Solid contact on that as he sends it into left field, finding the grass for a 2-out single. That brings Buddy Get Wrecked up to the plate. Stealing first pitch on an off-speed curveball. The throw is decent, but not enough, as we see a successful steal attempt. Now this one dribbled back up through the middle. It's going to miss the second baseman's glove. You hate to see it if you're a Civ fan, and you absolutely take those if you're a Curse fan. Cuts the lead down to 4.
Yeah, but if you're Mama, it's 5-1. You just got to focus. Like I said, you take an out. Any out you can get, you take an out right now. You can't let anything balloon into 4 or 5 runs in any inning the rest of this game.
Yeah, you can't get yourself hung up on the small stuff here. You got to have eyes on the prize. This one, another dribbler, going to be close at first, but in time there. Second baseman had the strength on the arm, and that will end the inning. Curse come away with 1, cutting that lead to 4, headed into the top of the 4th.
Yeah, again, I think that was a productive inning for MAMAJUNEJUNE to limit the damage there. We know at times the RNG can make it feel like everything is getting through. So 1 run there was good. Civ's looking good right here.
The bunter sprinter somehow bunts the curveball to the first base side past the mound almost. That was, that was a weird moment of baseball physics. This one catching a small sliver of that reticle, but it's enough to get into the grass of the outfield. It's a 1-out single now for Woweye stepping into the dish. As we've said, that bad ball hitter looking to do some damage, but of course it's Richard Long on the mound carrying reverse splits, so a great matchup for Mush here as he goes 2-0 in the count. Doesn't want to mess around too much. He hangs a curveball, and if reverse splits isn't activated, that ball is likely gone. Instead, finds its way only to the warning track for out number 2.
Yeah, this is one thing I like to do is I don't really like to bring the SPRP in early. I would prefer to use the SPRP later in the game when I have more of a feeling of how far that SPRP is going to have to go. But he's going to have to get something out of this reverse split. You can't get this reverse splits pitcher battered. If he gets battered, this is over.
Yeah, we saw a great piece of hitting there, and fortunate that it didn't hit the pitcher or even be caught by the pitcher. And we saw a veteran base running there, hitting that runner from first to third. But Mama finds themselves quickly 0-2. A non-competitive curveball in the other batter's box to go 1-2, and that one just misses. Actually, sometimes that almost gets called for a strike. Mama might have caught a break as he sends this one punished back up through the middle, and they'll tack on another run, reclaiming that 5-run lead. This one wildly thrown. That is just really unforced.
Frustration, yeah. Incredible forkball, and of course Mama pops it up the middle. Mama's hitting everything up the middle now.
Yeah, it could have been a lag spike because we have seen those kinds of moments here throughout the series, but nothing recently, so I'm not sure if that was just frustration or lag. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's a run across the plate, and it's also runners at second and third. This thing could snowball quick if Mama can capitalize, as he has a 3-1 hitters count. Probably sitting fastball here. Gets it, lifts it to left field. Shallow, or should I say shy of the warning track.
Yeah, that's two down.
So that will take care of the Civ in their top of the 4th. But they tacked on yet another run. It's a 6-1 ball game here, heading now to the bottom of the 4th at Red Rock for Mush to try to get something going. They will swing at that third pitch, and it's lined directly to Cindy Zaz for out number 1.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway there for the Civs was taking so many pitches out of that monster RP. Mush is going to run out of pitching in this game, so he needs to get going sooner than later, which he certainly is capable of.
Yeah, the Curse, as I mentioned in the pregame, sometimes it feels like they never die. They just need to kind of string a few singles together, and then everything can come off the wheels. As Mama gives up a 2-out single here. Brody Foundwood stepping in with solid hitting stats, and yet again, back up the middle. Mush's bread and butter.
Not the pitch yet. I wouldn't throw that. Mama needs to stay in the corners with fastballs right now.
Gonna go curveball, finds a strike in the top corners. Figured it worked once, let's try it twice, but it gets punished as the outfield is shallow, I think, as this one's going to roll all the way back to the wall in right center and clear the bases. It's a 2-out triple, and that'll score 2 runs here to tack on. What were we just saying, Miss? Things can kind of get off the rails in a hurry.
Yeah, that was not located was the problem. Yeah, wow. Yeah, credit Mush really making a charge here.
They're really kind of seizing the moment. Brings in the pinch hitter here, Matt Stairs. Carries the pinch perfect trait. And notable, of course, is this is a left-handed batter, so looking to get a little ahead on a pitcher and send it. Instead, it goes oppo to left field, but finding the glove in left to end the inning. So the Curse tack on 2, cutting the lead to 3. It's a 6-3 ball game.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Mush. That was a fantastic swing. That could have turned into more.
We'll get the 5th inning started off with the ground out there to second base as the Civ head towards the bottom third of their batting order. 8-spot hitter.
Here's that SPRP, kind of a little bit of an awkward build. It's got the triangle with no junk. Theoretically, just easy hitting, but this type of pitcher can be a little bit tricky. And we see a little bit, didn't get enough on that one.
Yeah.
You can always get the reticle on the ball against this type of pitcher. It's what it turns into this, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of tough to deal with their off speed sometimes, but of course, as the name implies for that reliever, the SBRP is probably down and likely named so because Mush has pretty much made him a minimum salary pitcher. So he just, is going to try to do what he can with really nothing extra. Gets the job done in the top of the 5th. Start us off here in the bottom of the 5th with a fly out to center. The turnover of the lineup, 2-spot hitter here is Buddy Getrecht. Not going to get a fastball to hit yet as Mama finds the zone. He's going to go 3 pitches in a row in the same type of spot. It's a changeup up and in. This 3rd time, Mush bites, and it's going to be an out there out in left field. So as we inch closer towards the end of this ball game, fewer and fewer outs remain. Mush had a decent reticle there, but again caught directly by the second baseman. Time is going to start to feel like it's running out for the Curse. There's still a few innings of baseball to be played. Trying to ambush the pitcher here, swinging first pitch, and that bunter sprinter finds themselves getting out yet again this game.
Yeah, if Down can hold the fort, I mean, if I'm Mush, I still feel good about those 2 runs that I got in the last scoring run. Definitely not out of this. This pitcher's gonna have to pitch a couple more innings, I think.
Yeah, this 4th pitch will really tell us. Yeah, Mama's starting to be more patient, realizing, understanding the situation. That one did not need to be jumped for. Second baseman wasn't sure, and it's gonna end up.
That was awkward, Zlat. That was awkward.
It was kind of in the middle of should or shouldn't I jump, but I think the fact that the ball wasn't caught when the jump was made kind of feels like it should have just been a moment where you stand there. But I feel for Mush. I've had plenty of those instances myself, so I sympathize. However, it turned into extra bases, and then a ground out advanced the runner to 3rd. We see an intentional walk issued to the 4-spot hitter, giving Mama runners on the corners here. Jerry Rice has extra power against the lefties, but finds themselves behind. Now in an even count at 2-2. Mush has to be extremely careful with what they do, missing low and away. Count is full with 2 outs. Runner at first should be queued up to go, but wasn't. And it's a perfect curveball. Finds the zone. It's on a string, and it's out number 3.
Yeah, Down looking really good right now. One thing I would be careful of, we want to put a little bit of a watch on, Zlat, is that curveball with no junk. It looks a lot like a weak forkball, so Mush cannot mislocate that pitch.
Yeah, he threw a perfect one to get the strikeout, but yeah, if you throw a mistake pitch with it, it could be trouble. As this one sent to center field, Blinkers dives to cut off the extra base hit still allowed is the speed and the advancing runner there to third from first base. So we find ourselves with a game-tying run at the dish. Pressure meters 3 out of 4. This ball is sent to right field. Orber's under it. There's no chance at a play at the plate. It's a sac fly to right field. It's a now 2-run ball game here in the bottom of the 6th.
That's a big run.
This is a big moment, though, for the Civ as they get a double play ball perfectly executed. And Mush, just as they were thinking they had something going their way, Metalhead strikes back, claws it out of their hands, and twists the knife to start the 7th as it's a single back up through the middle.
Yeah, but that's why it was such a big run for the Curse, because 2 right now is not too bad. There was that fork ball not located, or that artificial fork ball got slammed.
Yeah, the off-brand fork ball, as we can call it. Temu fork ball. Mush finding the zone yet again, using the Temu fork ball to get a second strikeout looking. First out of the inning, I should say, but second strikeout from this pitcher using that combo. It's probably down his increased mojo. They're locked in here from these strikeouts.
I'm telling you, Zlat, if he keeps throwing that pitch, Mama's going to jack one of those out of there.
Yeah, it does feel like a matter of time.
But he doesn't have. He can't throw the fastball. You can't throw the fastball in there.
MAMAJUNEJUNE leaving the pitcher in to hit here in the top of the 7th. They got a hang of it, but they were early, sending that ball foul. This one down the first base side. Second baseman gets it and takes care of the third and final out. So we'll take a quick stretch, and we'll see the Curse back at the plate here. The 2-run ball game, bottom of the 7th. Drew Peacock is locked in after 2 sliding catches out there in left field. So slightly boosted stats here as they see the count quickly go 3-0, probably taking, if I know Mush, and he does. Fastball on its way. Rounder to second base. And now the time is going to start to tick. The outs are running out. And it's the 3rd pinch hitter of the game for the Curse. We're going to get a decently hit ball, but a nice jump there from the shortstop. Erases what would have been a base hit.
And look at the eye of Mush. These pitches are literally 1 pixel off the plate, and he's just waiting for his.
This ball hits at the first baseman. Lawai dives for it. Pitcher covers the bag in time. It's a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th, and onwards we go as the Civ look to even this series up. Of course, if you missed game 1, it was a close game, but the Curse did eke one out there to take a 1-0 series lead. Civ now looking to kind of even the playing field and get back to an even series. Bunter Sprinter sends this ball to center field, but not carrying enough base power to send this one anywhere dangerous as it's caught out there for the first out here in the 8th inning.
Yes, center field is actually fairly far here. Right field is very short. Left field is fairly short.
Yeah, it's rather average dimensions. Just kind of that right field wall near the foul pole is a bit of a porch to it, but it does have the deep cavernous parts out there in right center, deep center, even really kind of left center, but it's a bit more average compared to the other stadiums available. This one sent to the diving second baseman, who is able to get a glove on it this time, earning the second out of the 8th inning. Stiffner looking to get a solid hold here. There's a grounder taken care of, thrown on to first, and we go now to the bottom of the 8th. 6 outs remain for the Curse to take their chances and try and tie this ball game up. They're going to get us started with a solid leadoff single. We've seen it time and time again. Tying run at the plate. Pressure meter 3 out of 4. Diego Espanol looks to bunt one down the line. It just goes foul.
That would have been huge. Good pitch, though, from Mama right on the corner.
Mush not expecting the cutter, comes back in the zone for out number 1. So a double play would end the inning here. Pressure meter is completely maxed out. As Mush sends this a deep drive to right field. Orber's back and makes the catch at the wall. Makes the throw to first as well. They're doubled off to end the inning. A huge double play for the Civ.
Oh man, and that's that short porch over there. Zlat, the ball was hit. I don't know if contacts, probably contact swing is what killed him, but regardless, a great swing and just an incredible play by Mama. That's not easy to make.
Yeah, I mean, it's still no guarantee either. You can time it perfectly, and sometimes it'll just, hit off their glove. It'll still even go into the stands. I've had that happen.
Right.
Some terrible moments, but yeah, what an epic moment and a great effort there from Mama. Not only making the catch, but having the awareness to throw it to first, and they were able to double him up.
Zlat, I throw to the wrong base on that every single time. For Mama to have the awareness to come to first was fantastic.
Especially when we're this late in the game and the pressure meter is completely maxed out. I mean, that's just the best possible scenario the Civ could have rolled as they look to try and add some insurance to their 2-run lead. There's quickly 2 outs here in the 9th. It's a runner on first. Not enough speed to really challenge the catcher's arm. It's not going to matter as the first baseman catches that ball on a drive. So here we go. Game 2, bottom of the 9th. John Cuck steps in. Specialist continues to be on the mound, and they're going to earn their first out of the 9th inning. Shortstop fires it over in time, brings up Magic Cannon. Hasn't been able to really get anything going, I don't think, this game here. But they're going to send this one on the ground shortly, rather weakly. Still thrown over in time, so quickly 2 away. And the specialist for the Civ looking to cap things off. No.
Oh, there it is.
Hopes are dashed. Yeah, the drama ensues now. Drew Peacock. Drew Peacock was locked in earlier on 2 defensive plays. Must have gotten out in their previous at bat. This one a comebacker knocked down, but it's not going to be in time because there's too much speed from the runner. So now the tying run is at first base. But all the pinch hitters have essentially been used. There may be one remaining for the curse. Jock Stiffner steps in with no hitting stats. It's probably the final pinch hitter here. Hank Cook. Game on the line.
Decent contact.
And he sends this one high, fly ball to second base. Brooklyn's under it, calls everybody off, and gets the job done as the Civ get the job done. They take care of business here in Game 2 to even the series at 1 apiece.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't ask for more here, Zlat. We definitely want to see this go the distance between these two. I kind of was saying, I thought Mama felt pretty good about the first game just because it was just a 50-50 game. He ended up coming up on the short end, and then Game 2 was essentially identical. That one play in right field that Mama made and then doubling up was essentially the error in left field by Mush was painful, but I do think the play in right field was really the only separator here.
Yeah, we saw some Game 2 highlights we could talk about would be, of course, the first inning for the Civ. Lighting the lamp, hitting a 3-run jack to deep center, got the scoring started early. They were able to carry that momentum for a little bit more, and then had a bit of a lull in the middle game and added some insurance late. So, yeah, we saw the defensive gaff there in left field. Just, I don't want to call it lazy. It's just, it can happen to anybody, but didn't properly get their defender to go back. And so, an unforced error cost them. And so we saw that really kind of matter there, especially at the end with how close it was. Mush did really well to fight back and make it a close game. Solid effort all around from both players, and that's kind of why we see the series split now. So.
Yeah, kind of almost lost in the shuffle was that big wallop from Cine Jazz early that really seemed to calm down, Civ's Nation and get them feeling good that they, if they could just, like I said, you have to take the out. And we saw the one inning where Mama took the out and let Mush get to third base, just saying, let's move forward. We've got the lead. That's the comfort you get when you get an early lead like that. So Cindy Jazz, a hero. That right fielder was a hero. And it's a series we want to see more of.
Yeah, absolutely. From what I hear, they're gonna probably get the next couple games squared away this weekend at one point, whenever they can align their schedules. Of course, we have the other side of the bracket still going on between Wish and Spaceman. That's another electric series. We really have a lot of offensive potential with these 4 remaining players. Just super exciting to stay tuned for. Of course, our AA is firing on all cylinders. They're continuing to move the needle on getting their games in. I believe all of those semifinal slots are taken care of, if I recall right. For a second, I was thinking the top left might not be, but I think it is, because that would have been the Tangeriners, and yeah, they certainly took care of that earlier. They actually, the left side has played a series earlier today, so we are really starting to get squared away in those leagues. And you pesky AAA ballers out there, you guys making us want to see more baseball. Those of you that I think are still around have gotten your games in. We know about the situation there with Heisman being away from his abode. So as soon as they get back, he'll wrap up the series with Johnny, and we'll see a couple other series continue to start. Of course, Miss, congrats on your advancement to the second round, where you'll take on Julio. That'll be a fun, bombastic series, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by fun there, but it's going to be a series. I did want to plug the Cup. Anybody out there, we've got XBL Cup coming, so if you're a player, we're looking for signups. It's going to be a really fun Cup. I think we're going to have we have some really excited new players coming in there. And then we've got, some of the classic players, Ox, I believe yourselves, Lad, No Hummus. I believe Train is signed up. I'm signed up. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Get signed up for your Cup. There's only a few days remaining, maybe 2 or 3. But I think you alluded to earlier, in the AA, Team Enemigos, I believe, advanced earlier today against a really, really good new player. So, and Team Enemigos is somebody we've been watching for quite a while, thinking this is going to be a AAA player, potentially even an XBL player down the road. Didn't have the best start to the season, but AA doesn't always get all the love, but AA has been fantastic. This season was unbelievable last season. And then we have, like I said, we have an infusion of at least 3 or 4 or 5 brand new players that have come in the last week that have gotten rosters in and started scrimming like crazy. So it's an exciting time in the XBL. This series and then the Wishbone Space series could still turn into, a free-for-all, especially with the talent of Wishbone, Spaceman playing out of his mind. And then AAA has been lagging a little bit because we've had at least one player on vacation. But we're going to start getting going. I just advanced. I'm going to play Jay Ace, who's a fantastic young hitter. That's all I can say. I'm excited, and we're going to have more stuff coming to you with all these series.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you to everybody who tuned in this evening. We'll continue to pump these games out as we're able to, as they roll in. So continue, please, to also get your games in, of course. And until next time, Mist, I guess have a great rest of your evening, everybody. Take care and enjoy the baseball. Get signed up for Cup, as he said, if you haven't already. So with that, we will end the stream, boys. Have a good rest of your night.